Jordan Peterson criticizes globalists. Clinical psychologist and famous media personality Jordan B Peterson has strongly criticized the Australian government's net zero emissions reduction goals. He says that it will destroy the country and is a completely bogus idea. In a video released on his YouTube channel, he criticized an auditing company, Deloitte's reports on climate change and its models, claiming that inaction will cost us $178 trillion by 2070, which is equal to $25,000 per person. In today's video, we will be discussing what does Deloitte's report suggest? What are they going to do? And what does Jordan Peterson think about Deloitte and its goal? It's all very interesting and we should look into it. So watch this video till the end. And if you're visiting our channel for the first time, or if you haven't subscribed to this channel, click the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive notifications of our latest uploads. So let's get right to it. Well, what we know about Deloitte is that it is the largest auditing company, has its headquarters in London, and it is one of the 4 big global accounting companies that offer risk advisory, tax, and many other legal services. This is a famous company we must know about because these companies do not directly but indirectly have a say in promoting some ideas among people, and their policies often create unrest around the world. In May 2022, Deloitte released a strong call to action and proposed some models and strategies to decrease the effects of the climate change that we are all facing. Its title is The Turning Point, a Global Summary, and it's a sample of the mentality that is more prevalent among United States officials. Now, what we see is that Deloitte, in its report, made some claims. First, the report suggests that the floods, storms, and droughts that the world has experienced in the last 18 months are unique and unprecedented. And secondly, the report suggests that science is now at a point where we can model the ecology of the whole world, and the experts among us must do this. They must change everyone's behavior, or else great catastrophes are unavoidable. Deloitte's report suggests that unchecked climate change will affect the global economy and will cost us $178 trillion. That is equal to $25,000 per person if we equally divide that amount. Jordan Peterson says all these claims are bogus, and this is not the truth. And here he puts Mark Twain's claim. There are lies, damned lies, statistics, and computer models. And here, computer models means hypotheses posing as mathematical facts. No scientist asked to follow the science, but the EU and other bodies consistently do things as collective solutions that are more harmful for all of us. Many organizations like Deloitte have failed to solve our problems and will definitely fail again because the true authority lies within the people. It means letting the people decide what is best for them. Do you think that the models that Deloitte has suggested are accurate enough to give those who employ them any edge whatsoever, such as a stock portfolio based on green energy? The answer is surely a big no, because if any such models had ever existed and were implemented by Deloitte, then Deloitte would soon have all the money. According to Jordan Peterson, what Deloitte wants to do is never going to happen, because the global economy or even the climate ecology is so complex and we can't make predictions or make decisions based on any prediction. We have a free market system and we will require this type of model to implement things for the best results. He says that the free market model is the best model of the environment we can generate, and it will remain the best forever because of its distributed computations among the 7 billion population of the entire world. This model can't be improved by employing some people and authorizing some people who think they can do things by manipulating some numbers and reading the summarized outputs. Now, why should we be concerned about this? What are the impacts if Deloitte is let off to do things using these dubious models? Truly speaking, these delusional thoughts will lead to more than just the worst effects. According to authorities at Deloitte, there will be a short-term cost to implementing these strategies and models that they have got. The company's report suggests net zero emissions by 2050. But according to Jordan Peterson, this goal is practically impossible to achieve. This goal is nearly identical to the one adopted by the Australian government last week, which led to a 40% reduction in greenhouse emissions by 2005 standards. It all will eventually devastate Australia. And here is the confession from consultants at Deloitte. In comparison to the existing strategies, economic progress would initially slow due to the initial investments in decarbonization, and the effects of climate change would become more severe. And in response to this, the planner then justifies this with promises and empty threats, saying, those most exposed to the economic damage of unchecked climate change would also have the chance to benefit from a low emissions future. Do you really think this will happen? Go and tell this to Africans and Indians in the developing countries lifted from poverty by coal and gas. And think about another Deloitte statement about existing industries that says they will be transformed into a complex series of interconnected emission-free systems. Everything appears to be difficult and impossible. Do you think they would be able to reconstruct everything at once in a better way without losing anything? Is it possible to fix everything in a few decades while demolishing everyone who has got any objections? And did you think about what it would require to do so? According to the reports and statements, a coordinated system will be required comprising government, investors, financial services, and modern technology to facilitate, catalyze, and accelerate the process. It's all they want to do, and it's how they want to do it. The only thing Deloitte guarantees is that we will definitely get poor for an indefinite but transitory period if we do all that they recommend us to do. Simply put, what they mean is any reduction in economy output will be purchased at the cost of the lives of the poor. Well, don't you know the poor in society are already facing huge challenges? Don't you know that food and all other necessities have become more expensive? Energy, consumer goods, and housing are expensive. What is meant by temporary period? Decades aren't temporary periods. This so-called short-term pain will take your whole life and the life of your children. Remember that it's not beneficial for middle class or poor people, and that this painful privation isn't going to save the earth. Rather, it's something that will have devastating effects. What Jordan Peterson says is that if you want to improve this planet, you'll need to help the poor get rich. And if you can't do that, just simply get out of their way while they are trying to become rich. Make the poor poorer. And this is Deloitte's concrete plan. Things will get worse and worse, beyond imagination. You see, there are many other things that are more important and which should be concerned about, focused on, and invested in for the benefit of all. We shouldn't invest money on costly and ineffective climate change reduction. There are many problems out there that must be taken into consideration, like poor health facilities and children around the world that can't get any education. First, we have to resolve these issues, which are ordinary, can be resolved easily, but are related to the poor people of society. Instead of abstractly protecting the hypothetical world and the hypothetical world of future children, how about addressing the actual world of suffering and deprivation these children are experiencing? Jordan Peterson suggests some alternatives. For example, he says it's better to first prioritize the problems facing all of us on our green, fertile, and usable planet, with the attention and focus required of a truthful governing class selected by the people, capable of and willing to look at everything, try to fix it where necessary, and try to maintain as much freedom as possible. We must acquire genuine, coordinated consent from all those directly impacted, like truckers and working-class people who have turned in irritated desperation to figures like Donald Trump, and work with them. If you are going to clean the energy by reducing carbon emissions, get permission from poor people first and do it on your own dime. Make sure the results are affordable and plentiful if you truly want to help the underprivileged and the environment. So men, thank you for watching this video. What would you like to say about these Jordan Peterson views? If you got some thoughts to share, please do so below in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will be back to you with another video. Until then, stay happy and healthy.